Success is a brutal, demanding teacher. It doesn't reward the weak-hearted, the half-committed, or the ones who dabble in their dreams only when it's convenient. The first hard truth about success is that it is painful before it's beautiful. No one tells you this because the world loves to celebrate the end result. The highlight reel, the victory lap, the $1 million payday. But what they don't show you is the sleepless nights, the relentless self-doubt, and the crushing weight of failure that comes first. Success is not a straight path, it's a battlefield where you must be willing to bleed before you ever taste victory. Most people start with excitement. They have a vision, a goal, and an intoxicating rush of motivation. They map out their dreams, set ambitious targets, and tell themselves that this time it's different. But then reality punches them in the face. The work is harder than they imagined. The results don't come as quickly as they expected. Their confidence starts to crack under the weight of setbacks. And that's where most people quit, right when it starts to get painful. But here's the truth. Pain is not a signal to stop. It's a sign that you are growing. Think about an athlete pushing through the final reps of a grueling workout. Their muscles scream, their lungs burn, and every fiber of their being tells them to stop. But they push through because they know that on the other side of that pain is strength. Success works the same way. Every struggle, every moment of exhaustion, every sacrifice you make is forging a version of you that is capable of handling the success you crave. If it were easy, everyone would have it. The real test isn't in the beginning when everything feels fresh and exciting. It's when the excitement wears off and all that's left is hard, unglamorous work. It's when you failed 5 times in a row and still have to find the courage to try again. It's when no one believes in you and you have to become your own source of motivation. Success demands that you go through this process. It will test you, break you, and push you to the brink before it ever rewards you. And here's the part most people can't handle. There are no guarantees. You could pour your heart, soul, and every ounce of effort into your dream, and it still might not work out exactly as you envisioned. But that's not a reason to quit. It's a reason to adapt, to refine your strategy, to learn from failure instead of letting it define you. Success isn't about never falling. It's about becoming the kind of person who refuses to stay down. The second harsh truth about success is that no one is coming to save you. Let that sink in. No one is coming to hand you a perfect opportunity. No one is going to magically fix your problems. No one is going to knock on your door and offer you the life you want. If you don't take control, life will decide for you, and you won't like the outcome. Too many people live their lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for permission, waiting for the fear to go away. But waiting is the fastest way to a life of regret. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. If you want to change your life, you have to take ownership of everything. Your results, your failures, your mindset, your habits. Everything. It's easy to blame external factors, the economy, your upbringing, the people who doubted you. But none of that matters. The moment you take radical responsibility for your life is the moment everything changes. No more excuses. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. The people who succeed in this world are the ones who refuse to be victims of their circumstances. They don't wait for the perfect conditions, they create them. They don't sit around hoping for opportunities, they go out and find them. They don't complain about their situation, they do something about it. Think about the most successful people in any field. They didn't wait for someone to discover them. They didn't sit around hoping someone would recognize their potential. They put in the work, built their skills, and made themselves impossible to ignore. They understood that the only way to get ahead was to take full responsibility for their destiny. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they never take full ownership of their success. They let fear control them. They let doubt talk them out of taking action. They let life happen to them instead of taking control of their future. There will be moments when you feel lost, when you don't know the next step, when everything seems to be working against you. In those moments, you have 2 choices. You can sit back and wait for someone to save you, or you can get up and save yourself. No one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to put in the work for you. No one is going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Most people live their entire lives in a cage of their own making, trapped by their own fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. They tell themselves they can't do it because they don't have enough time, enough money, enough experience. But that's all a lie. The only thing standing between you and success is your willingness to take action. There is nothing special about the people who make it to the top except for one thing. They decided that they were in control of their own destiny. They decided that they weren't going to wait for someone to give them permission to be great. They decided that they were going to make it happen no matter what. You have the same choice in front of you. You can keep waiting, keep hoping, keep making excuses, or you can decide right now that you are done waiting, that you are done blaming, that you are done playing small. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take it. Your excuses are killing your potential. Every single time you say, I don't have enough time, I'm too tired, I don't know how, or I'll start tomorrow, you are digging your own grave. You are literally destroying your own future with words that give you permission to stay small. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they give themselves an out. They rationalize why they can't instead of figuring out how they can. Success does not care about your excuses. The marketplace does not reward effort. It rewards results. No one is handing out trophies for almost making it. You either show up and do what it takes or you don't. And the brutal truth is that most people spend more time justifying their inaction than they do taking action. They tell themselves stories about why things are so hard, why they can't get a break, why they're stuck. But those are just lies disguised as logic. Every time you make an excuse, you reinforce a belief that you are powerless. And that belief is what kills your success before it even has a chance to begin. The most dangerous thing about excuses is that they feel reasonable. They sound logical. You convince yourself that you really are too busy, that you really don't have the right connections, that you really do need more time to prepare. But the reality is that someone busier than you is making it happen. Someone with fewer resources is figuring it out. Someone with less experience is taking action. And that's why they're winning while you're still thinking about it. If you want to succeed, you have to call yourself out. You have to be brutally honest about the ways you've been playing small. Stop saying you don't have time. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. Stop saying you don't know how. Everything you need to learn is out there, but you have to be willing to seek it out. Stop saying you're not ready. No one is ever truly ready. You start before you feel ready, and you figure it out as you go. The most successful people in the world have the same fears, doubts, and insecurities as you. The difference is they don't let those things stop them. They take action despite the fear. They don't make excuses. They make adjustments. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect conditions. They create them. They understand that success is a choice, not a matter of luck or circumstance. Think about it. Every time you make an excuse, you're strengthening a habit of avoidance. You're reinforcing the idea that you can't do something. And over time, that mindset becomes your reality. You stop even trying. You convince yourself that success is for other people, not for you. But that's a lie. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to take action. You either get results or you get excuses, not both. If you're tired of being stuck, stop justifying it. Stop telling yourself stories about why you can't and start asking yourself, how can I? That simple shift in thinking changes everything. It forces your brain to search for solutions instead of problems. It puts you in control instead of making you a victim of your circumstances. The moment you decide that excuses are no longer an option, you will see just how much power you actually have. Rejection is a sign you're on the right path. The reason most people never reach their full potential is that they are terrified of rejection. They are so afraid of hearing no, of failing in front of others, of looking stupid, that they never even try. But rejection is not a sign to stop. It's proof that you're in the game. It means you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. And that's exactly what it takes to succeed. The people who succeed at the highest level are the ones who have been rejected the most. They've heard no more times than they can count. They've been laughed at, doubted, and dismissed, but they kept going. They didn't take rejection personally. They didn't let it define them. They understood that every no was just another step closer to a yes. Most people fear rejection because they attach their self-worth to the outcome. They take it personally. If someone tells them no, they assume it means they're not good enough. But that's not the case at all. Rejection is often just a matter of timing, circumstances, or personal preference. It doesn't mean you're not talented, doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means that in that particular moment, that particular opportunity wasn't the right fit. Look at any successful entrepreneur, athlete, artist, or leader, and you will see a trail of rejection behind them. They were turned down, overlooked, and underestimated. But instead of letting it break them, they used it as fuel. They learned from it, they adjusted, they kept showing up until they became impossible to ignore. The biggest mistake you can make is letting rejection stop you. Most people experience a little bit of failure, a few doors slammed in their face, and they give up. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be. But that's exactly why so few people succeed, because most people quit too soon. They don't realize that rejection is part of the process. It's supposed to happen. It's how you grow. It's how you get better. It's how you prove to yourself and to the world that you are serious about what you want. If you want to succeed, you have to reframe the way you see rejection. Instead of fearing it, embrace it, chase it, seek it out. Because the more rejection you face, the closer you are to success. Every no you hear is getting you one step closer to a yes. Every failure is teaching you something you need to know. Every setback is making you stronger. Rejection is the price you pay for success. It is proof that you are in the arena, that you are doing the work, that you are willing to put yourself out there. And most importantly, it is temporary. The only way you truly lose is if you let it stop you. Keep going, keep pushing, and eventually the same people who rejected you will be the ones applauding your success. Hard work alone won't make you successful. This is one of the biggest lies you've been told. Society loves to glorify the grind, the long hours, the sacrifices, the hustle. And while hard work is absolutely necessary, it is not enough. If it were, every construction worker, teacher, and janitor would be a millionaire. But they're not, because success isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. Most people think that if they just put in more hours, if they just push harder, they'll eventually break through. But that's not how it works. Hard work with the wrong strategy is like running on a treadmill. You're putting in effort, but you're not actually getting anywhere. The most successful people in the world don't just outwork everyone else, they outthink them. They know that leverage, efficiency, and strategic thinking are what truly separate winners from the rest. Think about the people at the top of any industry. Do they work hard? Absolutely. But they also understand how to maximize their effort. They don't waste time on things that don't move the needle. They focus on high-value activities that bring the biggest returns. They know that being busy is not the same as being productive. Too many people wear their hard work like a badge of honor, bragging about their 16-hour days, their lack of sleep, their endless hustle. But if working more hours was the key to success, then factory workers pulling double shifts would be billionaires. The truth is, it's not about how much you work. It's about what you work on. You have to learn to identify the 20% of activities that bring 80% of the results. You have to learn to delegate, automate, and eliminate distractions. You have to stop mistaking movement for progress. Success is not about grinding yourself into the ground, it's about being strategic. It's about understanding the game you're playing and making sure you're playing it the right way. The smartest people in the world don't work the hardest. They create systems, build teams, and leverage resources to multiply their efforts. They use their time wisely. They don't spend hours doing things that could be outsourced for a fraction of their time's worth. They don't waste energy on things that don't directly contribute to their goals. If you're working hard and not seeing results, it's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because your strategy is wrong. You need to take a step back and ask yourself, are you focusing on the right things? Are you maximizing your strengths? Are you leveraging the tools, people, and opportunities available to you? Hard work is important, but if you're digging in the wrong spot, you're never going to find gold. And then there's the harsh reality that most people don't want to face. You will lose friends along the way. The moment you decide to chase success, to elevate yourself, to demand more from life, you will start losing people. Not because you want to, but because not everyone is meant to come with you. This is one of the most painful truths about success. The people you grew up with, the ones you used to spend every weekend with, the ones who once felt like family, they won't all understand your journey. Some will feel threatened by your ambition. Some will try to hold you back because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Some will simply fade away because your priorities no longer align. It's a brutal realization, but it's necessary. You cannot take everyone with you to the next level. Not everyone wants to grow. Not everyone is willing to do the work. And if you try to hold on to people who are not aligned with your vision, they will only slow you down. Most people are afraid to outgrow their circle because they don't want to feel alone. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be the one who changed. But here's the thing. You are supposed to change. You are supposed to evolve. And if the people around you aren't growing with you, then you have to make a choice. Stay where you are to keep them comfortable, or move forward to fulfill your potential. Success requires sacrifices, and one of the biggest sacrifices is relationships. Some people will try to guilt trip you for changing. They will say you've forgotten where you came from. They will call you arrogant, selfish, or obsessed. But what they're really saying is, I'm afraid to grow, and your success reminds me of my own stagnation. You have to be willing to let go, not in anger, not in resentment, but in understanding. You have to accept that not everyone is meant to be part of your journey forever. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season, and that's okay. The right people will support your growth. They won't feel threatened by your ambition. They will be inspired by it. They won't try to pull you back down. They will push you forward. Surround yourself with those people. Seek out mentors, peers, and friends who challenge you, who push you to think bigger, who refuse to let you settle. If you find yourself in a circle where you are the most ambitious, the most driven, the most growth-oriented person, you are in the wrong circle. You need to be around people who make you uncomfortable with how much they expect from you, people who force you to level up, people who won't let you make excuses. It will hurt to lose people. It will feel lonely at times, but loneliness is better than staying stuck in a life that no longer fulfills you. Growth comes with a cost. And one of the biggest costs is outgrowing relationships that no longer serve you. There will be moments when you second guess yourself, when you wonder if it's worth it, when you miss the simplicity of your old life. But remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself what you're working toward. The people who are meant to be in your life will either rise with you or re-enter your life when they're ready. The ones who aren't meant to stay will fall away. And that's how it's supposed to be. Fear never goes away, you just get stronger. Most people think that successful individuals are fearless, that they have some kind of superhuman confidence that allows them to take massive risks without hesitation. That's not true. Fear is always there. The difference is that successful people don't let it stop them. They act despite it. They understand that fear is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that they're growing. Fear is the mind's way of trying to keep you safe. It wants you to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid risk, to stick with what's familiar. It convinces you that stepping into the unknown is dangerous, that failure will be humiliating, that rejection will be unbearable. But what it doesn't tell you is that staying the same is even more dangerous, that never taking risks is the fastest way to a life of regret, that playing it safe is the riskiest move you can make. Fear doesn't disappear when you achieve success. Every new level brings new challenges, new risks, new doubts. The people who make it to the top aren't the ones who never feel afraid. They're the ones who learn to move forward anyway. They learn that the only way to conquer fear is through action. The longer you wait, the bigger fear grows. The more you hesitate, the more power you give it. But the moment you take action, even a small step, fear starts to shrink. Most people wait for the fear to go away before they take action, and that's why they never start. They think they need to feel confident first, but confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. The more you do, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. The more you step outside your comfort zone, the more you expand it. Fear never truly disappears, but you get stronger. And eventually what once seemed terrifying becomes normal. You must sell yourself or be forgotten. The most talented person in the room is not always the most successful. The best product doesn't always win. The hardest worker doesn't always get the reward. The world doesn't reward the best. It rewards the most visible. If no one knows who you are, your skills don't matter. If no one sees your value, your work won't get recognized. If you don't learn how to position yourself, market yourself, and sell yourself, you will get overlooked. Selling is not just about business, it's about life. You are always selling in job interviews, in relationships, in negotiations, in everyday interactions. You are selling your ideas, your value, your vision. If you don't learn how to communicate what makes you different, what makes you valuable, what makes you worth paying attention to, you will always be stuck watching less talented, less qualified people get the opportunities you deserve. Most people resist selling because they associate it with being pushy or manipulative. But selling is simply making sure the right people see your value. It's about positioning yourself in a way that makes people want to work with you, buy from you, invest in you. You can be the best at what you do, but if no one knows about you, it won't matter. Visibility creates opportunities. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. They work hard, they push themselves, they endure failure after failure, but when things don't happen as quickly as they expected, they give up. What they don't realize is that the moment they walk away is often the moment they were closest to success. The process of achieving anything great is full of setbacks, delays, and moments of doubt. The path is designed to test you, to see if you're truly committed, to separate those who say they want it from those who actually do. The truth is, success takes longer than you think. It demands more than you anticipate. It will push you to the edge of your patience and make you question whether it's even worth it. This is where most people fail, not because they aren't capable, but because they expect results too soon. They plant seeds and dig them up too early, thinking nothing is happening when in reality, the roots are growing beneath the surface. The people who succeed are the ones who trust the process. They don't set a deadline for their success. They don't walk away just because it's taking longer than they hoped. They stay in the game long enough to see their efforts compound. Success isn't about talent alone. It's not about intelligence or luck. It's about endurance. It's about your ability to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. The people who win are the ones who refuse to quit. They understand that the difference between those who make it and those who don't is often just a little more time, a little more effort, a little more resilience. They are willing to push past the point where most people surrender. The best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. Most people are searching for the next big opportunity, the perfect investment, the secret shortcut to success. But the real secret is this: the greatest return on investment comes from what you put into yourself, your skills, your mindset, your knowledge. These are the things that will determine your success. Money can be lost, businesses can fail, opportunities can disappear. But when you invest in yourself, you become the asset. People hesitate to spend money on books, courses, mentorships, or anything that improves them, but they have no problem spending money on entertainment, distractions, and things that don't move them forward. They think they can't afford to invest in themselves, but the truth is they can't afford not to. The most successful people in the world never stop learning. They don't just rely on what they already know. They constantly seek to grow, to improve, to become more valuable. The world pays you for the value you bring, and the more you invest in yourself, the more valuable you become. Your mindset, your skills, your ability to solve problems, these are the things that will separate you from the competition. If you want to change your life, start by changing yourself. If you want to make more money, become the kind of person who is worth more. If you want better opportunities, develop the skills that attract them. You are your own greatest investment.